I am definitely a nature lover, and whenever I am in places like this, the smell of this place reminds me when I was a little kid with my brothers and sisters in our yard. You know, it's the same smell of this these trees here, and I have good memories about those places where we were just playing in the yard, in our backyard. We were just playing with our friends, with our neighbors, and it comes to my mind how much technology today is a good thing, but at the same time, it kind of destroyed that thing that those kids had when we were kids, like playing around and not worried about having a machine in our hands, a device in our hands to be checking out everything all the time, the games and everything like this. And I can speak it for myself because when I was little, me, my brothers and sisters, our neighbors, we were always, around nature. We were always playing around, and it was so fun. And we were so happy doing that. I remember that me and my brothers, we were always trying to find some river around town to take bath on it. We used to call our neighbors to go to these places, and I was just walking around this place here that I love so much with these lots of trees, and this green grass and this kind of, plants, this kind of trees here that's very specific from where I'm from in Brazil. And I was just thinking about how happy and how healthy my childhood has always been because I've been raised in place like this. I am a traveler, I love to travel to all places. For people who knows me, they know that I love to be traveling around, and I enjoy going to places like big cities. I like to see, different kind of cultures and different countries, different cities. But being in a place like this with nature, for me, I can't compare how happy I am because I feel much more relieved and I feel much more in peace with myself when I'm in places like this. Especially because it reminds me of my childhood, with my sisters, my brothers, and it was a very healthy thing. Today, you can see that kids, they have machines, they have like the devices, the cell phones from themselves, and they are always like this checking something out. And before, me, my brothers and sisters, we were always playing around the house. We were playing around the street. We were grabbing some food, in the yard. In our yard, in my house, my mom used to plant. She used to have, many kinds of fruits, and like orange, like mango, avocado, a lot of good things. And we had so much things for us to be uh, having a happy time, with healthy things. And whenever I'm walking in places like this, it always comes to my mind how happy my childhood has been. I will never forget. And today, it's kind of crazy the way that children are being raised. And I'm not saying that today kids, they're not going to parks or they're not playing around in their yard, but it's completely different from the way I was raised. And I thank my mother and my father a lot for the way they raised us because they raised us in a very good place with trees and nature all around. And I am a nature lover, For me, being in a place like this is everything because you can connect with yourself. Many times when I'm stressed and I come to a place like this, I start to feel better, because it's like I'm connecting to my own me. And yeah, I was just sitting here over there on the other side. I was taking a look at the lagoon over there and just thinking about my childhood and how good it has been. And so I decided to make this video. And what kind of traveler are you? Are you the kind of traveler that you want to go to big cities, to see skyscrapers and things so advanced? Or are you the kind who wants to go to places like this with nature and just be like fascinated about it? I am both. I like to travel to places with big cities and everything like that because I like to see another places, new places. But I love this, you know. I love being in a place like this. And today is a perfect day because it's not cold, but it's also not so hot. So the weather is nice. It's windy, as you can see. As you also can hear, it's very windy here, but I love it. In this park that I am right now here in my hometown, there are some, you know, mangoes tree, and whenever I look at these mango trees, I can remember of me and my brothers and sisters eating mango, you know, up in the trees. Me and my brothers, we used to do this a lot. We would climb up the tree and we would sit over there, you know, very high, and we used to eat a lot of mangoes. And it was, like I'm saying, it was a very healthy childhood because it was like an adventure, you know. And when I also see this, you know, this lagoon, I remember me and my brother riding a bike, you know, going out of town in places close to our town, but like in farms, and looking for some rivers for us to dive in. Even though we don't know how, we didn't know how to swim, but we used to go to places and try to find a place that was not so deep, so that we could go and swim a little bit. But it was just for the adventure, you know, just for the adventure. It was very nice. And yes, when I am in these places, that's why I like to be around nature, because when I'm in places like this, a lot of things, good things comes to my mind, and it's very good for me to be relaxed and to relax in place like this and to bring back some memories of my life that are so good. In Brazil, in the month of July, it's when we have vacation from the school. And I remember every year when we would go back in August, you know, to come back to our school. And then all the kids would gather in their classroom to talk about how their holiday was, how their vacation was. And some of my colleagues, they would say, "Oh, I traveled to this place, I went this and I went that." So when they would ask me, I said, "I stayed home." "You stayed home? You didn't travel?" I stayed home, and it was awesome because me and my brothers and sisters, we were always in the yard. We were always trying to do something fun. We were always, you know, playing around with our neighbors. And we used to do a lot of things that for us, it was better than traveling to another cities or doing another things that people were doing, because for us, there was treasure. And yes, I have good memories from my childhood. And I thank God and thank my mother and father for that, because what they gave us, it's like a treasure gold gift. And also because people don't understand that for many people, you know, they think that because you have a lot of money, and then I will give you like a very expensive gift, they're gonna be happy. But for me, this is a gift, you know, being around this tree here in the middle of this nature, it's a gift. The same when I was a kid. For me, being around those places with my friends, my family, was so nice. And when those people at school, they were saying, "No, I went to my aunt's house. We traveled to this place. We did this and we did that." And for them, when they used to hear from me that I just stayed home, for them, they could think that this was nothing. But for me, this was everything. This was the best gift that I could ever had. So yeah, I just wanted to record this video here because a lot of good memories comes to my mind when I'm in places like this, and to tell you that it's very great, it's very important for us to be connected with nature. And for me, I have special feelings and special thoughts because a lot of good memories comes to my mind when I'm in places like this. Right now I'm under a guavas tree. Guava is a fruit, very delicious, that we have here in Brazil and in a lot of countries, of course. But I think this fruit is specific from how do you say, tropical countries, right? So I just wanted to record this video here talking about this subject. I hope you like it, and if you can relate to it, I think you're gonna like the video. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye.